This is going to be another video on Marxism. In my past two videos, I tried to create some distance between our notion of Marxism and the worst manifestations of the left in the 20th century and today. My main argument was that Marxism is descriptive rather than prescriptive. It's critiquing capitalism as opposed to offering particular solutions as to how to organize the economy or government. That being said, there's a more nuanced connection one might make between Marxism and the sort of hysteria of progressivism today, or the totalitarianism in the 20th century with Stalinism or Mao. And that has to do with rejection or sort of repudiation of society, which taken to its extreme could be seen as a sort of desecration. Marxism required a sort of demystification of the legitimacy of traditional economics and politics as well. And it required for Marx an understanding of law and economics that could only be understood by seeing whose interests are advanced by it. And through that lens, law and economics and civilization as a whole has a sort of invalid legitimacy that needs to be demystified, needs to be unveiled. And part of Marx's abstractions, his models of economics, demonstrate that. So in that sense, one might associate Marxism with the sort of negative political attitudes that you see on the left. And if you just think about your adolescent years, where we sort of go through this stage where all the comforts of home somehow become repulsive and we find ourselves repelled from them, as if they remind us of our own inadequacy, our undeserved luxury provided by our parents, and we seek to become our own adults by pushing this away. And it really requires this sort of emotional severance, and this is often goes beyond just rebelling against your parents, and it can take a larger form where you're sort of rebelling against all of society. And in those particular cases, you could sort of see why the political left tends to cluster around younger people, especially in the more extreme parts. So we could make connections, associations between the rebellious attitude of young people with progressivism, with the left in general, as a repudiation of authority and a demystification of the credibility of authority and authority figures. But we can't make a causal relationship here. We're not saying that Marx's ideas instill rebelliousness in younger people or in people in general. Just as we don't blame Charles Darwin for social Darwinism. If we just consider the Enlightenment period in general, we realize there's the institution of the church, there's monarchy, there are other institutions and authorities that had to be demystified, had to be critiqued in order for the modern world to take hold. We should understand Marxism the way we understand these other critiques and developments in the modern era.